This is a very special last call at Halas Hall. It is not with the other Dan. It is with my best friend who I've known since I was 8 years old, Steve the Guru. We'll have him on here in just a second. But guys, I wanted to remind you with the Super Bowl coming up, if you're going to bet, please use BetUS. You sign up, you will get a 125% sign up bonus, and you will help the channel greatly. So if you're going to bet on the Super Bowl, please use that link. It's also in the description of the show. And please bet responsibly if you do. I'm excited right now. It's very rare occasions that I get to have my buddy that wants to come on and actually talk Bears with me on the air. So, Steve, thanks for hanging out with me. Just pretend we're on the phone today.
I will do my best. I'm glad to be back.
Ironically, the first time that you were, and the only time you were on, that was the first show that got 1,000 views. So,
well, there we go. I didn't ruin your show the first time. Hopefully, I don't ruin it the second time. I guess, huh?
No, you won't. Let's see what happens here. If this gets 1,000 views, then we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what's going on with that. You have to get you here more often.
It's possible. You're a lot more popular now than you used to be.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. The hard work's paying off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Thanks, so I want to talk about a little bit about Caleb Williams.
Yes, this is what you wanted to join me on the show to have this conversation.
Yeah, part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
The major part.
Okay.
So, first of all, there's a very good chance that he could be an outstanding quarterback. But what I can't understand is the generational talent talk, the can't miss talk, the absolute slam dunk number one pick in the draft talk. What in history would say that? Can you think of anything?
Well, I've kind of talked about it a little bit that there's when a player is talked about, I think for 2-3 years in college as the number one quarterback, he was almost more of a hype last year than he is this year because his stats were better, right? You follow college football more than I do, but he had better stats last year than he did this year, right?
Yeah, main reason I think though is he lost his top receiver.
Okay.
So that guy was a first round pick for I believe the Vikings.
I mean, isn't there something to say for the quarterbacks who everybody is watching from year one in college to the time that they go to the NFL? Players like Trevor Lawrence, players like Andrew Luck, players like even Justin Fields. And
those three quarterbacks all have one thing in common: 0 titles.
Yeah.
And that's what's the goal? Is the goal to make fans happy, or is the goal to win championships? And it should be to win championships.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to pick players that are of championship caliber. That's why you like the fastest receivers you can get, and the strongest defensive tackles you can get, and the most athletic corners you can get. That's why you want those guys, so you don't drop balls like Vilder does that cost you going to the Super Bowl. You want those type of players.
And for me, Caleb Williams not playing in the bowl game really soured me on him. And I know that you and I talked about this, and I'm sure you'll add to that right now, that players, they sit out those games. But for me, if I was a college quarterback, those would be the games I would be looking forward to getting to be able to play in. It would take an injury to keep me out of one of those games. So for me, sitting out that game kind of crapped the bed for me. And I want to know what you think about that, because to what you just said, championships, they're also in college too, right?
They are, but I believe they finished 7-5 at USC, and 7-5 at USC in their world, you might as well be 0-12. Yeah. It's just unacceptable at a place like USC. You go 7-5 at Illinois 2 years in a row, they might build you a statue. But you go 7-5 at USC, and you're probably getting fired more likely than not. You do that a couple more times. It's just,
yeah.
To Ohio State fans, they had a bad year.
Yeah.
Alabama fans are disgusted with their season.
Right.
That would be Illinois' best season in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So it's all about perception and what you expect of your program.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand why he didn't play. I mean, if you look at the other quarterback didn't play either, Drake May, he didn't play. Most of those guys don't play.
Is
But
it because the game it's just a meaningless bowl game because they were 7-5? It wasn't for
it wasn't for
title?
anything. And then that risk of injury versus the reward of being the first overall, second overall pick. I mean, I love sports as much as anyone. I wouldn't have played. That's too much money. You're looking at losing right there.
All right, fair enough.
So, but I wanted to go back to, obviously his arm strength. Stevie Wonder can see his arm strength. That's not an issue there. Everyone can see in his offline, going left, right, moving around he can do all that type of stuff. Fantastic. But how well does he throw in the pocket?
No, that's a good question.
And so in his 6'1" listed is in the program, 6'1", maybe 6 foot, I'm not sure. But if he's listed at 6'1", then we know he's 6 foot. If he's listed at 6 foot, he's 5'11". That's just how that works. I still haven't reached my sophomore year basketball height that I'm listed in the program.
True.
It's just so he's probably, we'll give him 6 foot and a quarter. All right, we'll do that because if he's 6'1", he's just not going to be really 6'1". That's not how they do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then you go and you look at history, and you look at quarterbacks that size that have won the Super Bowl. Okay, there's not a single first-round pick that's ever done that, unless you go back, and I'm not even sure when Len Dawson and Johnny Unitas were picked. Okay, we're talking the first 5 Super Bowls here. I don't think we need to go back that far. I think the game's changed an awful lot since then. So if you go all the way back to, say, we'll go Super Bowl 15 with Jim Plunkett. There's 2 quarterbacks 6 foot and less that have won the Super Bowl. Do you know who those 2 are?
Drew Brees.
That's the
And Steve Young?
No. Russell Wilson.
Ah, right, yes.
Neither one of those guys were a first-round pick. Only one of those guys won the Super Bowl with the team that drafted him. So how can a guy with that stature, granted he has a much stronger arm than Drew Brees, but he's also not as accurate as Drew Brees. So how can somebody with that stature be considered a can't-miss generational talent when 35 years will tell you otherwise?
Wow. You make a great point. And you know what? I think it comes from watching Patrick Mahomes, right? Because we're seeing those plays. And by the way, I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched a complete game. I haven't.
Oh.
I've only seen highlights, and that's all that they are. I've admitted that. I've tried to watch a game, but he didn't play in that bowl game.
And that arm will wow you too. There's no doubt that arm will wow you.
But there's no doubt that there's going to be plays watching the entire game where I'm going to go, that was a shitty pass. Oh, he didn't throw that very well from the pocket, right? But we're all in this. All of our eyes have been trained to this style of greatness that Patrick Mahomes is, which is entirely different than any other quarterback before him. And so people are just, I think, pointing out those things about him that are similar that he can do. Because
and he can. He definitely has those, but it's just in a smaller body.
Right.
3 inches and 25 pounds, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So you make a great point. And I was a couple weeks ago, I was all on the, we have we've been gift horsed, this pick 2 years in a row. Well, the second year was a gift horse. And to me, I've always wanted the Bears to be in the position have the first pick in the draft with the number one, can't miss prospect coming out. Right. And I kind of gave up on that after the Shane Waldron hire because to me that entirely meant that they're going all in on Justin, and they're going to put the talent around him and get a coaching staff that can continue to build him up. And I think that's what they did in this coaching staff. So I gave up on the Waldron or on the Caleb Williams idea anyway.
And you're half right. He may be the number one quarterback in the draft. He may be, but he's not the number one player. The number one player in this draft is Marvin Harrison Jr., and everyone knows it. I know the quarterback position is way more valuable. Of course it is. There's no one ever going to question that. Marvin Harrison Jr. is damn near a perfect prospect, though.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at what Justin Fields, sure, he's got numbers. This is his numbers, and these are his numbers. But then you look at his numbers when he throws the Komet, and then you look at his numbers when he throws the Moore. What if you get a guy better than both of them? Then if he's got three guys that it's a 120 rating and a 130 rating and a 90 rating, well, isn't his rating going to be in the hundreds? How could it not be? What's he going to throw 97 balls to the backup tight end?
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't. And then if you look at it, so what? People keep talking financially Justin Fields, which they're all wrong, including all the experts and all these guys that go on all these. They're all wrong. And it drives me crazy. He's what, $6.2 or $6.8 million next year, right? Something like that.
Good
and
nuts.
then
Yeah.
And then if you go ahead,
is he that much? Let me look that up because I think
it may not even be. I think it's something like that though.
Because I thought it was like it was more than that, and that goes to like 15 the final year.
I'm not sure. I thought it was if they guarantee the 5th-year option, I thought that was $22 million. But I could be wrong. You see different numbers in different places. I'm a cap guy.
So, yeah, you're right. $6 million.
So just say it is the high, which I think it is, the $6 million next year, and then the $22 million the year after that you have to guarantee. That's only $28 million on a 2-year deal for a quarterback in the NFL. That's peanuts. That's nothing.
I read somewhere though that I think if they sign the 5th-year option, that would be somewhere around $15 million.
So then it's even less than that. I heard it was 22. So we'll say it's 15. So then that's 15 and 6. That's 21. That's 21 million guaranteed over 2 years.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is going to get 45 million guaranteed for next year.
Right. That's a great point.
So I don't understand how the money is in the reset the clock is a thing. What does it cost you to go get an average receiver like Christian Kirk? $100 million?
If they got him a Marvin Harrison Jr., though,
which doesn't cost you anything really other than the pick.
To your point, yes. Now you're adding him that other high, value receiver that's like you were talking about with Moore and Komet. Like, there's no doubt he would succeed if you add Marvin Harrison Jr. to that.
Yeah, that's so. Then now your second best receiver eventually, defensive back is no longer on. It's now on DJ Moore. Your top guys are going to be switched over to Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know many second corners that can guard DJ Moore. I don't know any, actually.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? And then so you're going to have to double one of those guys. Then what are you going to do with Komet? I almost called him Frank again. That's how old I am. I remember his dad. What are you going to do? Like, that's a problem.
We kind of talked about that, didn't we? If they can trade, they can swap picks with Washington and then get Washington's first pick next year, or first round pick next year, get our second round pick back from the Montez Sweat trade.
Yep.
Basically, it's like Montez Sweat and swapped picks to get their first round pick next year, and then we get our.
There's a shot too. You could trade back one more time. Who wants that other quarterback besides Williams? Who wants that second quarterback at 2? If say the Patriots want him, You could trade back one more spot again. Now you're not going to get what you got to get the number 1 pick, but you might get a second rounder back, and yet you still get your guy, collected 2 more second rounders and another first rounder, which is going to be from one of the 5 worst teams in the NFL next year.
Well, what was the Trubisky trade? That was 3-2, and that was of what? It was the 2 seconds,
a second and a third, something like that. Yeah. So you're going to get something like that.
So we get a second this year, maybe a third this year, and a second next year or something. Because we only have 6 picks right now.
Yeah. Well, that's what's kind of nice is they're getting to the point where they don't need 10, 11 picks to fill out the roster anymore. Now they had quantity. Now they need quality. And I'll say you just want to go crazy here. You could double dip at 9. Go and take another one of those receivers if he's there. Go take Brock Bowers. Yeah. Or you go and take one of the 2 elite pass rushers. And guess what? If those guys are all gone, by numbers, one of those elite left tackles have to be there. So you go and get your young quarterback, because what is he, 24, 25 years old? I'm almost 50. That's pretty young to me. So you go and get a premier left tackle to add to your premier right tackle, to add to your premier receiving core. You find out if Fields is the guy. If he's not, you got them 2 first-round picks coming next year. You got, which would be then maybe 2, possibly 3 second-round picks coming next year. You've got all the ammunition in the world to trade up. And if you eat the Justin Fields deal or you trade him, what are you talking, $15 million? Who cares? You still got all that talent. You're still under the cap, big time under the cap, probably top 10 under the cap.
Keep going.
Yeah. So, and then you take a shot at that quarterback the next year, because if you give Justin Fields all that, including an offensive coordinator who's proven to turn around a career of a quarterback before, then he's not the guy.
And then next year, if Justin Fields ends up being the same player, and it doesn't look like he's going to, take another step forward, even with the added talent around him, that 5th-year option is still valuable in a trade to another team, because it's been signed. They now have for 1 more year at that price to decide.
Yeah, you might get a 4th or 5th, maybe, depending how bad he is. But I don't think he'll be bad. I think he needs to be simplified with more talent. Now, there's also the argument is you want that elite quarterback, and so he's a multiplier and he makes everyone else around you better. But
if you add him, if you're giving him Marvin Harrison Jr., forget about it.
That's what I think.
Brock Bowers?
Yeah, add both of those guys, and then you can run 2 tight end, 2 receiver. Or what if you just say, forget it, I'll give you Harrison and Adunze, or I think that's his name, the guy out of Washington, who's pretty much a big DJ Moore. It's essentially, I've heard that comparison, too, from someone else before.
I've heard that a lot from a lot of different people.
So, or you get the left tackle there. And then who knows what, maybe you get a 4th rounder for Braxton Jones, or you just keep him on the last year of his deal as your swing tackle. And then you've got elite bookends to go with elite receivers, to go with good. There's a lot of avenues you can go at it rather than guarantee that a 6-foot quarterback is the next greatest thing in the history of football.
Well said.
Because it's happened so many times before.
Well said. Jim Plunkett is the only quarterback that solved that riddle as well. That Cornelius Squalls got it right in chat one day, because I asked the question to so many people.
Seen that name before.
I asked the question to so many people in chat, many different chats. Name one quarterback that was traded, because everyone was saying if Justin Fields if he did get traded, he became a superstar on another team. And I asked if he did get traded, and became a superstar on another team. Name me a quarterback who was drafted in the first round, didn't live up to the expectations on that team, was traded to another team, and became a superstar. And the only answer anyone could come up with was Jim Plunkett. That was Cornelius. I think that was as close as it gets.
Would Steve Young qualify?
He wasn't a first round pick.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought he was.
Or maybe he was.
I don't know.
He might have been the last pick in the first round, actually.
Because I know he was a USFL, I believe. Wasn't that the USFL times?
Yeah.
That's the only one that came to my mind, and I think Brad Johnson was, a fourth-round pick?
Who was?
Brad Johnson. I think he was, a fourth-round pick, something like that? Because he won it. He won it.
Oh, he was Steve Young was the first pick in the supplemental draft. Does that count, though?
I don't know. I don't know, like legally, statistically through the NFL, if that counts or not. That's an interesting question. Maybe one of your chat guys or one of your producers or whatever can help you out with that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that we already had this conversation last week, and they clarified that it did, but to me it does. I don't know. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know if it does or not. Yeah, but it's rare. Either way, it's rare. That's for sure. It's rare.
Yeah.
And then you think about, okay, those two quarterbacks that I listed to you, Drew Brees and Russell Wilson, that have won the title, which is the goal. Guys that size, right? One of them has one of the 4 or 5 named defenses in the history of the NFL behind them. I mean, how many defenses? Monsters of the Midway, Legion of Boom, Steel Curtain. How many can you name? Right? There's only a handful of those guys. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the Buccaneers had a name for their defense or not. I just call it "fuck you up." That was the Buccaneers defense.
Yeah.
But and then you look at Drew Brees. Sure, he got it done with a Hall of Fame coach and probably the most accurate quarterback ever.
And a pretty nasty defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and team all together. So, and like I said, that doesn't mean anything that Williams can't be that guy. But it means that it can't be a foregone conclusion, 100%, no doubt, no way that he is.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what history tells you. And what was it? His great 7-5 junior season that led you to believe he's such a great winner?
I also question someone in his position. He seems a little cocky, right? He seems a little full of himself, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, he is. He's got a little what's that guy? Baker Mayfield to him.
Okay. So he's also the first quarterback to have made as much money as he's made in college. So that's got to be. You're now dealing with a new rare.
It's different. Yeah, it's different now.
Because any player that's the top in their in college and is making millions of dollars in college is now.
Here, you probably don't know this, but you might. This signifies what you're talking about more than anything we could possibly ever say. Okay, obviously everyone in the world knows who Deion Primetime Sanders is, right?
Of course.
His kids are in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
They bought him a home. What could signify what you're saying more than that?
Exactly.
They literally bought him a home.
Man.
No joke. It's nice too.
I bet. But yeah, that totally quantifies what I'm saying. So
yeah, exactly. Nothing more needs to be said on that right there.
Yeah. So
that's insane.
You're gonna be getting different kinds of players coming into college, and I think it's gonna set them up for failure, to be honest.
Less driven.
Yes.
If you already got the bag, you're not driven to get the bag.
Yep. Unless you're just spending the bag too quickly and you need more bag. And that's really
And actually, from what I know about, like, well, of course, it's only through the media. I don't know anyone that knows Caleb Williams or anything, but it's just through the media and things like that, that he's actually a really good kid. And he doesn't like party, and he doesn't go out, and he doesn't need all kinds of things. All he wants to do is win. That's what I've heard of him.
Good. That's what I'd want to hear.
And if the Bears draft him, I'll get behind him, and I'll be excited for the chance. But we're looking at a unicorn. If it is,
yeah,
it's not your normal. It's not your Peyton Manning. It's not your Eli Manning. It's not your Ben Roethlisberger size, Matthew Stafford, Patrick Mahomes. Fuck, even Nick Foles size guys. It's Brad Johnson. It's not your typical guys that win you Super Bowls.
Yeah. I've kicked the can down the road, but the obvious thing to do here is to get Justin some more talent and to trade that pick to get more talent and more talent and more picks for the future, more picks for this year, more picks for next year.
And then you get another first. That's like insurance.
Yeah.
Because Washington is going to be bad. I don't care. Tom Brady could come out of retirement and be their quarterback. They're not a good football team. You don't spend $800 billion on your defensive line and ignore everything else and think you're going to be a good football team. So then you're going to have to give away pennies on the dollar, and a team like the Bears and Poles could come in and steal your best defensive lineman for nothing. For pick 40 for a guy like that? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else want to give me a great player for pick 40? I'll take it. Guy fucking leads 2 different teams in sacks, and we get him for pick 40. That's ridiculous. Come on. That makes up for any bad move that Poles may have done. That makes up for it right there.
Yeah, if he gets to pick back, even better.
Yeah. and then he still gets his guy and another pick.
Yeah. Because there would have to be one more pick involved in that, right? It's not just 2 in next year's 1. It'd be
it could be a player.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Washington could decide, well, we're not going to be good this first year. We'll go ahead and give you a player instead. And they've got guys. I mean, I doubt they would be as dumb as Carolina and draft a really stud quarterback and then trade away their best receiver. But if they want to give us Terry McLaurin, okay. Works for me. You want to throw him in the mix, and then you got McLaurin, DJ Moore, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Guard that. Go ahead. Guard that.
What about the defensive lineman that they just signed that we wanted to get last year? I forget his name.
So the big boy out of Alabama. What's his name?
The guy that we wanted to sign last year, free agent. They signed him. We were like, what?
Yeah, he's the big boy out of Alabama, I believe. I can't think of his name right now. You got me on that one.
All I have is Montez Sweat in my head.
Yeah, although then there was Chase Young, who's now on the 49ers. But is it Payne?
Daron Payne, thank you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Or the other guy. There's another one in there, too, that they paid. There's another DT they got. That's what I'm saying. They paid the entire defensive line. And then they wondered why they couldn't do anything on offense.
Right.
And then while you're at it, why don't you maybe let go or trade one of the best left tackles that have ever played the game, and then wonder why your quarterback can't stay upright too while you're at it. 49ers will take Trent off your hands anytime.
My God. No kidding.
The second best player in the Super Bowl is Trent Williams.
Yeah.
Behind Mahomes.
God, he's a stud.
Yeah, he's a god. There's certain guys that are just that. He's just that, man. It's good for him. At least he's got to sound like Kermit the Frog. At least he doesn't get to be as cool as Michael Jordan. So at least there's some fairness in that, you know? Michael Jordan just wasn't fair to the rest of the world. It's kind of a prick move.
Yeah, he was just too cool.
Yeah, there's no reason for all that. That's why I couldn't like him as a kid. There's no one that deserves to be that cool.
Hey, he couldn't dance.
Yeah, but I didn't find that out till later.
Oh, you didn't see the
So,
Michael
I'm a
Jackson
huge Michael
video?
Jordan fan now. You know that, right? Like for years now. I love Michael Jordan, the retired Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Love that guy
Yeah, I know. You never liked him growing up.
because he was too cool. At least Shaq's goofy and talks weird.
Yeah.
You know, Jordan somehow would make taking a shit look cool.
Yeah, he would have.
Just not, believe me, it's the same time that I wasn't a fan of him. I guess I was in a way because I watched his games.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what he can do. Best player that's ever lived. I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
How could you not watch his games when they were all
Yeah.
over TV growing up?
And I'm a college guy, not an NBA guy, but back then that was when NBA was awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's part of it. Was college was better then because people stayed 3-4 years, and when they got to the NBA, they knew how to play basketball.
Michael Jordan, that was it. Once he retired, basketball retired for me. There was nothing better to watch. He was the best of the best.
Yeah, you missed out on Kobe though. Kobe was a beast.
Yeah, but I watched Kobe, but I couldn't watch the games because I didn't live in LA. So you only get whatever game you get. Whereas with Jordan, we got to watch every single game,
I would battle anyone that birth to age 25, like in their respective lifespans. Kobe Bryant was a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. 17-year-old Kobe Bryant destroys 17-year-old Michael Jordan. The difference is when the Pistons beat the shit out of Michael Jordan, that's when he became what we all know as Michael Jordan. When he got big and strong and a little bit mean, that's when he became a killer.
17-year-old Kobe Bryant was only as good as he was because of Michael Jordan. Without Michael Jordan, there is no Kobe Bryant. I don't think. I mean, he
or maybe he's the first then, because his dad was pretty nasty too. Kobe's dad.
Yeah,
he was a baller
in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know he was a big time baller. I'm pretty sure he was in the NBA. That was before my time. But no, the talent was always there, and Kobe's he's got the mentality. Like I tell you, I hear Marvin Harrison has. He doesn't want to beat you; he wants to destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Kobe's the closest thing to Michael Jordan I've ever seen. They have the same mentality.
Oh, for sure.
And he didn't get that mentality because of Michael Jordan. You're either born with that or not. You can't make that. You can't make that.
But he clearly emulated his game after. If he even tried to talk.
Oh, yeah. He admits that. Sure, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't blame him. If you can be like Mike, everyone wanted to be like Mike. He could.
I wanted to be like Mike, except for I don't know. I really couldn't jump. So other than that, it kind of killed my chances of being like Mike.
That's why you had the wicked Bob Ward head fake.
Oh yeah, I could do the BW head fakes, and I had all your moves and your jump shots and your passes and a little bit nasty attitude. I could give you a little bit of a nasty attitude on the court, but jumping high in the air, that wasn't for me.
No, it was not.
It wasn't my strength. Swanee could jump a little bit. You could jump a little bit. And number 14 could jump a little bit, but that was about it.
I couldn't palm the ball. That's why I couldn't dunk it. Because by the time I got up there, I would lose it. Swanee could palm it.
Yeah. Eddie was 6'3" and lengthy too.
Yeah. Swanee, he was 6'4", I thought.
But he was a little shorter than me. I think he was 6'3.5". I think I got Swanee by like a quarter inch, half inch.
Saying was meaning that we all have
Meaning
shrunken.
I've shrunk. Shit,
Yeah,
Slap was in a wheelchair and still in better shape than the rest of us. So
yeah,
fuck that guy. That guy's awesome, man.
yeah. He is. So, what else you got for me here, man? How you feeling about just?
Well, if you're thinking about direction of the Bears talk,
Yeah,
that defense is close.
yeah.
And if I had my preference, I'm a 3-4 guy, but you can win with a good 4-3 too. And I really like how Eberflus is keeping play calling, and he seemed to be more of an attacking 4-3 than a sit back cover 2 towards the end of last year. I mean, I don't know what all the numbers say, but that's what it looked like to me.
Mm-hmm.
They look to be a little bit more attacking.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you add, say, an elite pass rusher at pick 9 that you can put on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and those young defensive tackles who have all the talent you could ask for, they usually get better year 1 to year 2.
Yes.
And then you got your run stuffer in there. So that defensive front 7 is more than solid. They're probably going to bring back Johnson on a franchise tag. But there is 3-4 corners that the Bears really like. Actually, the Bears have 3-4 corners that I really like. And
That was the one thing we noticed in the draft last year was that when they were going through the highlights, there was every highlight had a cornerback blitz from the cornerbacks that they were drafting. A lot of players like in this, even the safeties and stuff, and we saw that a lot last year with this defense. They ran some cornerback blitzes, some safety blitzes. So
yep.
that's the guys that they're looking for, and those are the. I love the picks that they got last year, Stevenson and Smith.
And Terrell Smith, yeah.
Yeah,
And my favorite type of defenders are those that are looking to get paid.
yeah,
Those are the guys that come ready to play.
yeah.
Especially getting that second contract that everybody covets.
Yeah.
That's God. Remember Eddie Jackson that year? Oh, I love that Eddie Jackson.
Oh God, yeah.
This Eddie Jackson can go fuck himself.
Yeah,
He makes business decisions out there. He
yeah,
needs to go somewhere else next year.
yeah,
Get a hungry kid in here.
yeah.
That's what I like. Speaking of hungry kids, Gordon and Brisker are going to be hungry next year,
Oh man,
and they're going to want to eat.
are they ever?
You know who else is going to want to eat next year? It's different side of the ball, but Braxton Jones.
Yeah,
Oh, a left tackle going into a money year.
yeah,
That's another thing I like.
yeah.
So there's a lot of that going on, and then there's
Expensive. It's a little.
yes, we both wanted Harbaugh. I probably shouldn't even bring that up to you right now because you're probably going to throw your hat and go off. But we both wanted Harbaugh. I know that. But since we don't have him, at least the very least, we've got a little continuity, just a little. So in Eberflus, I don't like him as a head coach. I don't know how anyone actually could. But if anyone doesn't like him as a defensive coordinator, then they're not being honest. They're not really evaluating an honest football game.
Yeah.
So he's a good play caller. He's a good defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, would I have liked the Jimmy Harbaugh in here, huh?
Oh man.
I did. I'm kicking that fire right now. You see that? It's smothering underneath you. I'm moving the ashes around a little bit.
Mm.
So what's he going to do for Herbert? And look what he did for Kaepernick, for fuck's sake.
Rich Gannon.
Jesus.
Come on. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick. Like, come. Imagine what he would have done with Justin Fields with what he got out of Colin Kaepernick. Justin Fields is 10 times better than Colin Kaepernick. And what did he get out of it?
And yet very, very, very similar at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a comp. for Justin Fields or Kaepernick. They're other than Justin Fields is a good person, they're very similar.
Justin Fields is a hell of a lot better passer too.
Yeah, doesn't pretend to come from a tough upbringing.
Yeah. But yeah, he's gonna get what he's gonna get out
I
of
just
her.
offended like 100 people watching this right now, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry about that.
But no, what Harbaugh is gonna get out of Herbert is gonna be sick. I'm gonna be jealous.
You know what I like about it though, and I know that's what you like about it. There's only one time it affects us. Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in 1998, you and I said that same thing to us about a certain player when the Colts drafted Peyton Manning, right?
Oh yeah.
And then unfortunately, what was it, 2005? That son of a bitch.
2006.
Six. Okay, yeah. 2000. Yeah, was it 2005? Whatever season, or
No,
why do I have that wrong? Is it the 06-07 season or the 05-06 season?
06, 07.
Okay, so I'm a year back. Okay.
05 was the playoffs with the Steve Smith destruction
Oh yeah, where I became a fan, unfortunately.
of Steve Smith.
Yeah, I did. I didn't want to,
Yeah.
but I respect dominance.
Yeah, that was
Like,
dominance.
And not only that, he dominated a perhaps Hall of Fame player too.
Yeah, he did.
And granted, he wasn't, as we know, as the Peanut Punch, Peanut Tillman yet. But who knows? Maybe Steve Smith beating his ass that day was part of what made him become Peanut Tillman.
Yeah, maybe. Very well.
Because, God, I left that game wanting to be Steve Smith's friend.
Yeah, not me.
No, you left that game wanting to beat Steve Smith up, but knowing damn well you couldn't.
Oh no.
Yeah, I
was
hated
worried
it, but I respected it like no other.
I was worried that was just going to continue, that we were figured out on defense. But thank God the 2016 pulled it together.
To duplicate the toughness of a Steve Smith at wide receiver, that's a very, very short list.
Yeah, it is.
He's hanging out with Hines Ward.
Yeah.
There's not many of those guys.
Yeah, I'm
like about 5'9" guys, and the last thing in the world you'd want to do is fight them.
Oh,
that's Steve Smith. That's like a Tommy Noda kind of guy.
Yeah,
that's just the guy you don't really want to fight.
Exactly. So yeah, Harbaugh is.
Speaking of Noda, you heard anything new about his boy?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Yeah, because he's the starter for the A's, but
yeah, that's the last I heard.
How many years do you have left?
Yeah, I don't know. I know that he's young and he's athletic, so hopefully a lot.
Dude, he had some nice plays. Just a couple of highlights I showed on the show when they were on. He had he was running like he was catching the ball like a receiver, and just the ball just landed in his glove.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of plus to his game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a plus base runner. He's plus power probably.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he would grade on that, but it's pretty damn high on my board.
Yeah, so he jumped up and like threw the ball between his legs to get into first base.
He takes pitches. Seems like he's got a good eye at the plate. So yeah, when the Cubs were looking at the playoff push to maybe add a first baseman guy or whatever, that was one of the guys I was hoping they'd grab.
We're talking about Ryan Noda, by the way, who is the son of a high school friend of ours, Tommy Noda, who's on the show. We did a reunion show, I don't know, at some point earlier, I think before the season started. Tommy was on there with us. Yeah, his son is a pretty good baseball. He's the starting. He became the starting first baseman for the Oakland Athletics this season. So go ahead, finish.
Yeah, But yeah, I was hoping when they were looking at guys to add, I thought he would have been a perfect add. Hell, I still think they could use him, to tell you the truth.
He's a Sox fan, though.
Oh, you know what though? Tommy's a dad first. I mean, I don't know Tommy too much anymore, but I know he's a dad.
Yeah.
And in the day that his kid was a starting first baseman for the Cubs, you'd probably see a Cubs hat on his head. Probably. I'm not sure on that, but
I think he said it with his own mouth that he would become a Cubs fan. So
yeah, that's his boy. So that separates anything sports.
sure. How awesome would it be to play for the Cubs? I mean, no matter what fan of a team you are.
I had two dreams in my life: play for the Cubs and play basketball for Illinois.
Mm,
Wasn't good enough for either of them,
yeah.
but still were my dreams.
Yeah. At least I got to walk on the Bears field. Never got to play for him, but standing on the field was fun.
Yeah, that had to be pretty cool.
Because even when I had the press passes in the '90s, that was the turf field, the AstroTurf field. This was grass this time. Really nice grass.
Speaking of field, that's interesting. You bring that up. If you had to predict or guess where they building the next stadium, unless that Chicago Loop stuff is a bunch of smoke, they almost seem pretty serious about that.
What's that?
Isn't there some lakefront Chicago? I don't know the city very well, but I heard there was some type of lakefront type of a deal that they got in the works with Chicago to build a stadium.
I think it's right next to the current Soldier Field.
Is it called the Loop or something like that?
I thought it was over by the old McCormick place or whatever.
Okay, see, I don't know the city at all, so
It's like south on the same campus, I think.
okay.
I'm not sure.
Is there enough room there to like make something where they could attract, like, say, Super Bowl, Final Four, where it could be a moneymaker for the Bears, or are they talking it's going to be owned by the Park District again?
That's exactly the question.
Oh, okay.
To the Bears. Let's see. Bears backing out of Arlington Heights. No, that's not. It can't be true.
I mean, they already own the property, so
I would think they would be going there, but
there's something to do. I mean, I'm not great with the taxes, but I read that there's something about they want unbelievable taxes before it's built, and that's the problem right now.
yeah, Arlington Heights. They were paying the Arlington race course. They were paying like don't quote me. It's let's just say something around like 400,000, 3 to 400,000, something like that a year in property taxes or less. And then once the Bears bought it, and then they actually are working on tearing things down, they wanted to raise the taxes to like 2 million. Because they wanted to, I guess a lot of it has to do with the school board voting and stuff. So again, don't quote me on it, but
I heard some stuff like that.
And so that's what caused them to back out, was because, if you're going to make the starting point 2 million on a barren lot before everything's even put up, and
Hey, you know how that Dan, the other Dan, I can't think of his last name right now. What's his last name?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dan Aguirre. He's pretty good with history. Like, that guy impresses me with his history and knowing dates and scores and all that stuff. Like, damn, dude, that's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You got a guy that knows that like executive shit, like, what's going on with the building and all that, the zoning and the taxes. You got a guy maybe you could get on that could help us all with that.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Podfather or whatever you guys call him?
No, Aldo might know someone. Glenn Morgan might know. We were trying to get Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports back on, but he does everything on Thursdays when our show is on Thursdays. So we might have to move that around to get him on, but he really wants to come back on as well. So
Because I'm searching for that information, and I just really can't. You know who might? Lester Wilfong's a pretty smart guy. He might know all that stuff.
yeah, Lester probably would know. Yeah. But yeah, if they're I know it was something like 2 million that they wanted to throw at him for taxes on barren land. So once everything is built, imagine what
Yeah, that makes sense when it's built. Sure, yeah.
right. So that's what caused him to back out. So I wish I knew what the new proposal was in Chicago.
Because I just think long term, they're better in the suburbs. I think with everything they could build there, with hotels and
Dude, and I'm partial to that because when I come home, all my family is up in the northwest suburbs. So
yeah,
I literally get on a train from any one of 3 locations that I would stay at and take the train right to that location, right to Arlington Park. And so, I mean, that's me being selfish to it, but I've always taken a train to the Bears games anyway. And I usually would get off at Union or Pingree or not Pingree or whatever the other one is in Chicago. Pingree is the one that I get on at. But then I would walk all the way to the stadium or take a car. Then you're paying for that. So it's a lot easier for people to take the train right to Arlington Park. And all the amenities that would be there, I think would be because we stopped and got off and looked at it and looked at the whole expansion of what they could do over there. And it was just mind boggling. So to me, it's the obvious answer. They just need to get the tax thing figured out.
and then you're out of the Chicago politics too.
Yeah.
You know, and they could try to bring another team to Chicago. The Bears are the Bears. Good luck. Go ahead, but the Bears are the Bears. So
About the
everybody,
only that I could see that would actually do something as far as a fan base in Chicago would be if they brought back the Cardinals and let them play in Soldier Field. Because at least it started here.
yeah, I mean, it could be like something like that, but I don't think Arizona's letting them go anytime soon.
No.
So
you're not just going to create a new team out of nowhere and put them in Soldier Field.
and people are it's gonna be Dick Butkus in the guy's history and Walter Payton and it's come on, it's the Bears. It's the Bears are the Bears. You can't still fuck with the Bears.
Right. But
I mean, and I hate to say it, but you don't fuck with the Packers either.
But isn't moving them to Arlington Heights fucking with them? Shouldn't they stay in Chicago?
Because it's better. Because where they're at now, it isn't up to par of what they are as an organization. Just like old Halas Hall wasn't up to par to what they are as a charter franchise and as the Chicago Bears. They're a brand name. They're the fucking Bears. Mm-hmm. We're not talking the Cincinnati Bengals or the Jacksonville Jaguars here. Mm-hmm. The Bears should be like the goddamn Cowboys. They should be known, like them or not, the Raiders. That's a name. That's a brand. Mm-hmm. I mean, you almost think just even saying the Raiders that someone's about to get beat up in the stands.
Right.
I mean, that's just they're a brand name of they're ready to fight.
Right.
And their teams are ready to fight. I mean, that's just there's a toughness. The Bears have that too, except for they don't win. That's the only problem with that.
Yeah, and now we're becoming more known for our fan base than we are for our team. You know?
You know what changes that? I mean, look at Detroit. Well, 2 seasons changed that. Now when people talk about Detroit, you'd act like they've made 6 straight NFC championship games.
I saw a tweet by David Montgomery saying, "I love Detroit." Like, of course you do, dude. If the Bears had been doing what they just did up there, and you were a part of the team that drafted you, and you would say the same thing if you were going through the same experience in Chicago.
Yeah, in a starving, thirsty fan base.
Yeah,
I mean, My sister-in-law, she's never even seen anything like it, and she's so excited. She's been a Detroit fan her whole life. She's in her mid-30s. She's happy as could be.
Yeah.
And I would think any Detroit fan, after the initial disappointment, should be happy as they could possibly be with their team and their organization, and how they got to keep that offensive coordinator. That's probably the best free agent signing of the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that they didn't leave him, it's not really a signing, but the fact that they didn't lose him.
Mm-hmm.
How Washington fucked that up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like somehow they're going to blame Dan Schneider for that too, and he's not even there.
There's something to be said though for, also what Bobby Slowick stayed too. You're starting to see that more because I think there's something to be said for
The right situation.
exactly because if now you're the hot commodity and you go to a team that doesn't have a quarterback, everyone that's getting plucked from a team going to another team as a head coach left said team because of success because of a quarterback. So they
No.
go there. They don't have a quarterback. They fail. Now you lose your position. You could have just stayed there and possibly won a Super Bowl with the team you were with, or at least been in the playoffs year after year.
And if you're playing some deep checkers here, if you're the Bears, you just got some deep checkers in the back of your mind. You're really smart. Okay, here's your extra chance, Eberflus. Here's your year, and here's your year two, Fields. And we're going to get that extra first round pick and another second round pick. So we're going to go into the following year loaded with draft picks. And you're the guy or you're not. And if you're not the guy, then we got Ben Johnson or Bobby Slowick that we're going to hire. They're both out there.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. There's your guys. So if you're thinking deep, okay, if this doesn't work out, then could be. But I like those other two guys better.
Okay.
I really like what the Eagles did and with their coaches in the offseason. I don't know how they did that.
What they do?
They got Kellen Moore as their new offensive coordinator.
Mm.
And then our favorite defensive coordinator in the league is now their defensive coordinator. Yeah, they got Vic.
Wait, what? How?
Yeah.
What, he signed a 1 year deal?
I didn't see the details, but yeah, that's their coordinators now. Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio. Are you kidding me?
Wait a second. How did they get Vic Fangio from the Dolphins?
I don't know. Maybe he was a free agent.
Oh, he signed a 1 year deal?
I don't know. Maybe there was an out. All I know is that if you go ahead and look up the Eagles coaching staff, those are their coordinators.
What?
Let's talk about superstar. Is there a chance that their coordinators are better than their head coach?
What?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, I'm not wrong, am I?
You are not wrong. He should have never even left in the first place. He should still be our defensive coordinator.
He wanted to try the head coaching job. Oh, come on. We all know what he is.
I brought him right back.
He's a boss defensive coordinator. That's what he is.
How did that in the hell did they get him from? You don't typically hear coaches signing 1 year deals. Defensive, offensive coordinators.
And especially, didn't they make they made the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like did they let him go? I don't know how it happened. All I know is that it did happen. And I mean, I know how more happened because they fired the staff in San Diego. So I know how that happened, but that's if you're an Eagle fan, there's no way you're not happy with that. And in Detroit, they could easily have lost both coordinators, and they kept them both. That's unfortunate.
Oh, they got rid of him. The Dolphins parted ways with him.
Okay, that's how it happened.
Wow, that's makes no sense to me. Okay.
It's got to be he wanted to hire a buddy, maybe,
No.
or switch systems. So that's my other thought is they're going to run a 3-4 in Philly now. I mean, they have to, right?
Yeah.
So is Carter in, or is Carter going to be like that defensive tackle at the end spot?
Mm.
Or he's not a nose.
Mm. Are you
So,
sure? He's not a what didn't they play? Well, they played a hybrid defense in Georgia, right?
yeah, well, yeah, I think they did a little bit of that in Philly too, a little bit. But I mean, I guess he could be. But is that where you draft a nose? Do you draft a nose at 9? So why I bring that up is I think the Bears really did really well taking that right tackle and just moving on.
So do I. So do I. And they need to go get a left tackle this year, a center and a left tackle, and put Tevin back to right tackle and just run the freaking ball to the right all day long. Tell everyone you're doing it too. Hey, we're running a power right, and just do it.
And
Because
then what are you going to do if you got to bring up safeties and you got DJ Moore and Harrison? Well, what are you going to do? Play action, you're done. I mean, you're running at 7-8 yards a clip. That's how the Packers got all these guys running wide open.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are, unfortunately, there's a chance that fucking Craig Knuth looking Green Bay guy is a coach. There's a shot. He might be impressive, man. I hope not, but fuck.
Who, the Packers coach?
Yeah, it's starting to look like it. Of course it was Rodgers at first, but I'm just so glad that my fear didn't happen with their defensive. I mean, I knew they were going to fire that boob of a defensive coordinator. How that guy has a job blows my mind. But I was so worried that Mike Vrabel was going to be their defensive coordinator.
Oh man, that would have been scary. Who'd they
Oh
get? Did they
Jesus!
sign someone?
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't recall his name because, well, I don't think he's worth recalling. But the Boston College head coach, I believe, is their new defensive coordinator.
Jeff Hafley?
That's it. Am I right? Is that Boston College? I
Yeah.
believe that's what I read. Yeah, that's what I thought I read.
Huh.
So I don't know anything anymore about Boston College football. So I couldn't tell you if that's a good hire, bad hire. If it's a friendship hire. I have no idea. But I know it's not Mike Vrabel.
That's nice. That's good. Yes.
And it's not Vic Fangio. That could have been really fucking upsetting.
Oh man, it was Vic Fangio. That would have been.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So, I mean, maybe he'll be good, maybe he won't be, but he's not those two guys. I want no part of those two guys getting a hold of that talent.
Oh God, no.
There hasn't been a more disappointing unit the last 2 years in all of football. Any side of the ball, anywhere you chalk it up, that Packer defense.
Yeah.
Good Lord, is that thing talented?
Yeah.
And if I know them, they're going to take another goddamn defender in the first round too.
Probably will.
So, but it didn't matter as long as Barry was in charge. It didn't matter.
What do you think about signing Johnson, Jalen Johnson?
Not at the top of the market money. No, I think you just franchise him and then you see if he can actually stay healthy. The Bears are in no hurry. Johnson's not in control of anything. He's not a quarterback. He's not a receiver. He's going to have to take his franchise tag and deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's going to have to sign a reasonable deal where he doesn't think he's the best corner in the league.
And it gives him time to still draft another cornerback. to get in the wings.
develop, what have you,
Right.
which they have two young ones already, and actually three if you count Gordon, but I think they're just really counting on him in the slot. So I
Yeah.
don't think we want to count him as an outside guy, but they do like Smith out there and they do like Stevenson out there. And so they have a guy there. You get another guy in the wing, and then if he wants still ridiculous money after his franchise year, he's a year older, and maybe you go ahead and then that point you trade him,
Hmm.
or you let him go. But I do not give him top of the money cornerback money. I don't.
You give it to him for 1 year.
Yeah, I'll give him that franchise, but I'm not giving him that bag he wants, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people need to go ahead and take a little peek at the guys he picked off for his interceptions that he finally got. These are bums. He didn't pick off a good player. He picked off bums. And maybe one of them was the guy in Detroit. I think one was from him, maybe. But that guy, we're his kryptonite. You
Yeah.
look at it, you look at his numbers against everybody else, and then his numbers against the Bears, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
How do the Bears own you like this, and why hasn't the rest of the league copied exactly what the Bears do?
Just like the Packers with us.
And if it's true, what Minnesota is going to have to pay Cousins, he wants a 2-year, $90 million guaranteed deal. That's what everyone keeps. I keep reading that he wants, and they already can't franchise Daniil Hunter. Why don't you just go sign that guy?
Oh, yeah. That's what
I
we're talking
mean,
about
yeah.
previously. You get to a point where you load up with the draft picks, and then you go and get that one guy on defense. Yeah, that one veteran guy on offense.
I mean,
That
you talk about a complete front seven now, and a whole defense actually. But if we're just talking front seven, now that's a front seven that wins championships.
mm-hmm.
That's
I think that would be the obvious. Would be to
and
go.
here's the thing: does that stop you from grabbing the elite pass rusher at pick 9? It wouldn't me.
No.
Wouldn't stop me at all. It might make me want to do it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now I got 3 nasties coming at you.
Yeah.
Now what you gonna
Rotation.
do? You gonna leave Dexter 1-on-1 all day? He's gonna get you eventually.
Yeah.
So now you got a problem.
And we know how Flus likes to rotate his players, keeping them healthy or keeping them fresh.
Yep, and I would like one more linebacker into the mix.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the starters, but just give me a young developing guy that I could eventually say, okay, if something happens and this guy gets hurt for 3 or 4 games, that you can plug him in and you can get something from him, and not like replacement level. I want a little bit above that.
Hopefully, Sewell can develop into that.
Yeah, I want another guy,
Yeah.
an inside guy like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Sewell's an inside guy. So
No.
then you got the outside guy, and then you got the inside guy, and then you've got the guy out of Lake Zurich, isn't that where he's from? Your buddy, Sanborn? Is that his name? You're in love with that guy.
Oh, Sanborn, yeah.
Yeah, that's your guy. That guy can play inside or outside for you. You talk about versatility.
That guy's a stud.
So you got that guy who gives you a little bit of everything. You're set there. And then you got those 3 pass rushers, and you got the 3 defensive tackles, and then the one that's just a big old pig run stuffer.
Mm-hmm.
And you need one of those guys. So then there's your front 7, and then you got your 2 young corners that are going into their 2nd year, and their other young corner is going into his 3rd year. Then you got your safety going into his 3rd year. You get yourself another safety.
Yep.
That's easily bear goggles nowhere near my eyes. That's a top 10 defense.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to put my bear goggles on, that's a top 5 defense.
It was they were up there in a lot of categories this year. They were a top 10 defense for sure. But
And they're not going.
number 1 against the run. I mean, albeit.
Yeah, that's you know how I feel about that though.
Yeah, the talent. Yeah.
Yeah. I- but my key with that is when a team wants to run against you, can you stop them?
Right.
That's what I care about a run defense.
Right.
And that's what I care about a run offense too. Anybody can have a quarterback run for 600 yards and look like they got a great rushing offense, but does that defense know you're running the ball on the right side on 3rd and 1 and there ain't a fucking thing they can do about it?
Right.
That's what I want. And that's what they have if they'll let it play. That's what they have.
On the offensive line, yes.
Yeah, and they have it on the right side too. That's what they
Yeah.
have, but they won't play it.
I know. They have to get a center and a left guard.
I would sign one and draft one, Shorty.
So would I. Is the second round too high for a center in this draft?
Depends who's there. I haven't gone over the centers yet too much, but if there's a guy that's a top 40 grade and your offensive line is a top 50 grade and your offensive line is that close to being that good, hell yeah, go ahead. Take them.
It's going to be it's interesting to see how many picks they are going to load up on this year to try to maximize those positions that we just talked about, because it's going to take.
And I don't want the 6th and 7th round as load ups. Fuck
Right.
your 5th, 6th, 7th. I want your 2nd, 3rd round load ups now.
Right.
So if they end up trading that 9th pick 3 times and they don't even get a first rounder out of it, they get that this year, it's a first rounder next year they get, and then they get an extra 2nd and 3rd. That's okay. Keep adding those 2nd and 3rd round picks. Keep adding them up. So many good players come out of those rounds. I almost like those rounds over the first round. First round's a lot of hype. 2nd, 3rd round's a lot of football players.
Yep. And we're in the position. That's what we need. Is we just need to add up on quality talent right now. This is the draft.
Like me, you, and Dan Campbell, we couldn't understand what the rest of the world didn't like about Jack Campbell.
Right.
It was just me, you, and him. And their draft expert. He knew what to do.
Yeah.
How did people not like that guy, Dan?
We all laughed when they drafted the running back too.
No, I didn't laugh. I laughed at that. I still think that's a reach, but I didn't laugh at that linebacker. I love that linebacker.
Yeah, we talked about him.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like that's a good football player that's athletic. He's got instincts. He's got size. He's got desire. I'll take that fucker right now.
You can't deny the job that the Lions have done with just trading and drafting.
And what did we want to do with Montgomery all those years? What did I say about him? You get him a back like Gibbs, a 3rd down type back, a scoot back, make him part of a committee, and he'll be. And that's what you want out of him. He's not a 300 carry. That's not the type of. To me, that's not what you want out of your backfield anymore.
No.
Get 2 guys with 170 carries, and then one of them's a bruiser like Montgomery, and the other one can get you a 70-yard touchdown in a given time.
Hey, you know me, man. I want to go. I want to start using the T formation again. So.
Yeah. As long as you're concerned, there'd be 4 running backs out there.
I mean, the league has become so driven towards the receiving, passing stats, quarterbacks, that what better time than to load up on 2 tight end sets, or fuck it. You could put Kmet in the backfield. You could put.
You're never going to give this one up, are you?
Listen, you can put Kmet back there with Roshan and Herbert, right? And then you have another.
No, give me some speed somewhere.
Okay, well, it's a draft pick that we draft this year that has speed. Let's just
give me some speed.
Okay,
there's some guys there too, but we'll talk. We'll save that for a different time.
Okay, so let's say we got one of those guys with the speed. Now we got Kmet.
Get out of Oregon. Fuck.
We got Roshan on the right, and we got the speedy back in the middle.
And get out of Oregon. Sorry.
And there you go. And Justin Fields is under center now, but we still have a tight end There's still a tight end on the line. So it's technically a 2 tight end set single receiver, right? So
Oh boy.
now you can just start fucking with people and move one, put the tight end
I love this
on the
guy.
line in motion, take him from the strong side to the weak side, and now it makes it look like you're going to the Komet side of the field where he's blocking, but really you're gonna like. There's so much you can do with that. You can even take Komet and put him back on the line in motion, and then move your 2 backs. Now you're in a 2-back set.
So let me guess, you created your T formation when you used to create playbooks in Madden, didn't you?
Oh man, wasn't that? I probably did, but that was the best.
I'm sure you did, man.
They need to be able. You need to be able, and I know the reason why in Madden. Well, the reason you probably can't make your own plays in Madden is because the game has to be able to. The AI is not smart enough to be able to figure out your plays, so you would dominate with them.
You know why you're 100% right, and I can tell you from experience, and because I play Madden. Right now, the RPO is one of the strongest plays in Madden because the computer's AI is having a hard time picking it up.
Yeah, but even the system is designed to work within the plays that are in the game to figure out your tendencies, what plays you run the most, and then it picks up on those and starts to build a notary, if you will, of your plays. But if you ran one that wasn't in there for it to even gather from, and it couldn't put it into its database, you would dominate with it. You probably dominate everyone you ever played online with it too.
Hey, if you could design me some nice T formation, I'll give it a shot. But the NFL, they're begging you to pass. They're begging you to pass. Please pass. We'll throw you flags just because.
You could run the T formation with 2 running back or 2 wide receivers back there, and then put them into motion.
But unless you're Justin Fields, you really can't even get hit as a quarterback. They're allowed to beat the shit out of him. He doesn't matter.
Oh
but
yeah,
everyone else, you can't touch him.
Yeah. Fields is a punching bag, but
yeah, you're allowed to just beat the living piss out of him. It's okay. Fuck you. That's what you get for being a good person and a nice kid. Fuck you.
Yeah.
So.
And because you almost broke the record rushing last year, we're not going to call not a single PFF or personal foul on him.
Here's the thing, buddy. He doesn't want to run first. He does not want to run first.
He doesn't. You can see it.
So
there was the game last year. I think it was against the Falcons. Well, he was running around for like 30 seconds trying to just find a play, and all he needed was 15 yards for a touchdown. And he finally ended up throwing the ball to a guy and got like almost a first down out of it or something last year. But it was like the longest play of the entire season for the Bears because he was just running around back there trying to find someone open and couldn't. And he could have easily run it like 6 times in that play. So, and you saw it all this past season too. He was always looking for the pass.
Yeah, he wants to pass first, no doubt about it.
I think he's gotten.
Oh, by the way, Getsy got the job in Oakland.
Oakland.
Wow, listen to me, Las Vegas. We're so old school.
I know.
That's all right. Man. Yeah, he got the job there.
Wow.
Oh,
weird.
That's so Raiders.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I'm not even sure who's their head coach there.
Cliff Kingsbury.
No, he's not their head coach. He's their offensive coordinator, I believe.
I thought you just said Getsy was the offensive coordinator.
No, that's right. He's the quarterback's coach or something then. Or is he even there?
Cliff Kingsbury is the new.
No, it's Getsy. It's all over Twitter today. Where's Kingsbury? Might be somewhere else.
Oh, okay. So did the Raiders keep the?
I don't even know who their coach is anymore because it was Daniels. Is that who hired Canales or whatever? They hire that guy, the Hispanic gentleman.
Who?
I think Dave Canales or something like that.
No,
Is that who hired him? The Raiders, or did they go back with their interim coach? They might have hired their interim guy.
yeah, it looks like Antonio Pierce is still the
Yeah,
head coach.
yeah. Okay, that's it. So they gave the intern guy. They gave him the full gig. Okay.
Okay, so then
Yeah, they don't deserve attention. They're the Raiders.
so Cliff Kingsbury backed out, and now Getsy's the new offensive
Oh,
coordinator.
okay, that's what happened. All I know is that he got it was all over Twitter. There's our X, whatever you want to call it, this morning.
I thought Kingsbury was their head coach.
No, I knew he wasn't because
So out of it.
yeah.
But yeah,
So-
I don't understand how you would hire Getsy as your offensive coordinator. What did he do? Where where is the resume for that?
it's I don't know where we didn't really have one for the Bears to give him that fucking job either, but I don't know. Maybe he's more impressive than we know, and maybe that means bad things for Fields then.
Oh God.
Maybe. But we're talking about a league that tried to tell us Bryce Young was going to be a better quarterback than CJ Stroud too. So what the fuck do they know? And they would try to tell us Baker Mayfield's a generational talent. And I'm like, I was bigger when I was fucking 12. So I don't think so.
Oh man, you make good points though about the quarterbacks and Caleb Williams. I do.
And like I said, that doesn't mean he won't be good, but history is history, and even recent history. I mean, is he kind of comparable to Kyler Murray?
Caleb Williams,
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
So same offense in college.
Kyler Murray was a better passer in college, wasn't he?
Yeah, same offense actually. So just so you know,
That's true.
So
that's Cliff Kingsbury's, isn't it?
the other guy too that's came from Oklahoma and then went to USC. Now I can't think of his name right now.
USC head coach.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley, maybe.
Riley,
Yeah. So kind of just the same deal though, same kind of setup. Kingsbury was Texas Tech with Mahomes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe you're correct. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's where his toast got buttered.
Well, dude, it's nice to get your perspective here. Curious to see because we're going to be running this as a premiere. So we're just going to kind of hang out and chat with everybody. So this is going to be an interesting kind of an experiment here. I ran a premiere before one time, but I didn't really know what I was doing with it. So this will be fun trying to run this as a premiere. It's awesome that you came on and did a freaking show with me, dude.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Definitely. It was a good time. Thanks for having me.
Dude, I've been trying to get you on for a year and a half now.
Yeah, well, I've been going through some stuff, so
I got it, man. We're doing a draft marathon again. So if you want a link, I could send you a link. You can just hop in and out for a minute or two and talk with us about the picks or whatever if you want.
Yeah, I think I can do that. Sounds like a plan. As long as they don't do something ridiculous and say draft a receiver and Marvin Harrison's on the board and it's not Marvin Harrison, you're just not going to want to talk to me.
Probably not.
It'll be a problem in my Bears fandom.
Yeah, it's sticking with Justin. I see the only solution is Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that's a consensus for most of us as Bears fans.
Because you get to trade down too, still get your guy, and you get some more picks.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, Poles and his staff have proven to draft pretty well so far.
In Poles, we trust.
Yeah, I don't mind him having more bullets. He can shoot a little bit.
Yeah.
So
that's a great analogy. I'm gonna make T-shirts to say Poles knows football.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you know what really signifies when you're good at your job? It just sounds in football, at least, in baseball and basketball and when you get someone else fired. That's when you've done you're doing your job because you did your job so well, someone else lost his. And so when you do a trade like that in Carolina and everybody gets fired, yeah, not bad for a young general manager. Good start. Now you go beat up Washington. You go beat them up a little bit.
I love
And
it.
now we're talking.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go
So
beat up Washington a little bit, dude.
yeah. See if they want to give us some things. I mean, we already kind of said thank you for Mr. Montez.
Mhm.
That worked out really well for us.
We get that second round pick back. It'll be even
And
better.
that's a sweet spot right in there for a lineman too, for either an interior lineman or perhaps a good corner could be in that spot, or a safety. Like that's a good spot for a nice, good college player with upside that can probably start for you right away. That's a
Mhm.
starting pick 40. That's usually a good starter in there.
Mhm.
You'll probably find if we were to look at the history, you'll probably find a boatload of rookie starters at that pick 40.
Oh man.
I
You're
bet
probably
you would.
right.
Yeah, I bet you would.
That's the sweet spot in the draft right there.
Right in that area, centers and you best left guard in the draft back in the day, type of a thing, or a really good tight end, or that's a spot.
Mhm.
A speed receiver, but he's a little bit small.
Just gonna say, yep.
That's
That's where that's right around where what's his name got drafted by the Steelers. Everyone was pissed off we didn't draft 2 years ago. Pickett. Pinkett.
yeah, Pickens, I think it is Pickens.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in that area. Isn't that where did the Bears get Brisker and Gordon?
Um, right around that area.
Yeah.
Because they went with uh Gordon there.
Well, fuck, where was Devin Hester picked? If you want to go back, wasn't he right around that area?
Wow, that's a good one. Let's see. I think you're right. I was thinking he was a third round pick, but
I got second in my mind, but that's a while ago now. Unfortunately, we're getting a little bit older now. My teeth are a little longer.
second round. Drafted by, let's see, Bears in the second round. Let's see what number he was. 57th.
So even further down. Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just that second round area there. That's starters on good teams for
Yep.
sure. I mean,
Yep.
definitely on bad teams, but
Yep.
I mean, it could be anything right there.
So we got to get it back. Let's go beat up
Yeah,
on Washington.
yeah. Go get another first rounder. Go get Marvin Harrison Jr. and get your pick back.
Yep. And then
And
if you can trade down one more spot to 3 and still get Marvin Harrison, let's go beat up New England.
yeah, maybe they got a second and a fourth or something. They want to slap us to move up to make sure they get their quarterback and we don't trade it to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't go past 4 if you want Harrison because Cardinals are waiting.
Yep.
They're fucking drooling too.
Yeah, because
They've
Murray.
had a guy like Larry Fitzgerald there. They know what a guy like that can do.
Mm-hmm.
They know. So
That's well said. That's true.
talk about one of my favorite guys ever to play football. What a
Oh
good
man,
dude. What a good dude.
great dude.
Him and Peanut should just hang out and we're fucking better people than you category.
I was thinking that myself.
And then Warwick Dunn pulls up and he's like, "What about me, guys? I'm
Right.
still building homes for women all over the place. What you got?"
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Those are my 3 of my favorite guys.
Was it Warren? Warren built a house that He built a house for Deshaun Watson's family.
Yeah, I heard something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, for Habitat for Humanity or something.
And then when he was little, he used to get massages from the builders when they were building his house. I heard. Fucking weird bastard. Is that the worst move in the history of sports? Maybe what Cleveland did.
Yeah, they traded what? 3 first round. Was it 3 first round picks?
Yeah, I believe it was 3, and then a little bit more.
Oh my god!
And they started the trend of, I believe, I could be wrong, but he's at least one of the first of those fully guaranteed contracts, isn't he?
Oh yes, yes.
For a guy coming off of that situation,
Yeah.
let alone his blown out knees that he's had, let alone that conversation.
Why did he finish the season? Injury or play?
I think he was injured.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he definitely was injured. Yeah, because they had to go sign Flacco. I mean, they were playing teams with their fourth quarterback.
Right.
I mean, of course, the Bears. I've never seen a team get so many fourth quarterbacks in a season in their lives than the Bears did. I mean, how do you get guys like that all season? What, fourth quarterbacks? I mean, that's insane.
Yeah. And that's we're used to seeing that though.
What's that?
I said we're used to seeing that though.
Yeah, we're used to. Yeah, our guys getting banged up and having to throw out Henry Burris type characters.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh man.
But now at least we throw a capable guy out there that can make a quick read, gets rid of the ball, and is more than a capable backup quarterback.
Absolutely.
So, and you're paying him nothing.
Dude, I mean, agent is if he had Justin Fields' arm,
I mean, you might have to take a pay cut to take his job right now. I mean, come on, that guy's not making anything.
Right.
So that's the thing. Their quarterback position is in terms of NFL is making nothing. So, oh my goodness, what if the Raiders are that thirsty to get that Caleb Williams that's part of the deal? They're willing to give you Crosby because Crosby's better than Montez. You tell me Montez is your second best defensive end? Holy fuck.
We talked about that on the show earlier.
You guys did? Okay.
Yeah, Walt brought that up as a trade scenario. That could be because we'd get what are they, the 8th pick?
Yeah, you'd probably get the 8th pick, their next year's first rounder, and him, and maybe some change. A 4th and 26, or something like that. But I think he's worth more than a first rounder, especially if you think you could win now.
Oh, they have the 13th pick.
Yeah, you're getting some change back too then. But he would have more value than say a DJ Moore.
Yeah, but you're not going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. then.
No, you're not.
I don't know.
It's tough. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I want Harrison too. I'm just throwing scenarios out there. That's all.
Yeah, you've got me convinced that Marvin Harrison Jr. is the key to this team's success moving forward with what we have and Kmet and DJ Moore.
I mean, there's 2 other receivers I really like in the draft, and then there's some speed guys later we'll talk about at a different time. But yeah, he would make this offense, I think, special. And that's hard to say talking about a Bears offense and a rookie receiver, but I think he's that good.
I think you're right, dude.
He could be the Jamar Chase that unlocks Burrow. He could be the guy that unlocks Fields.
It's Marvin Harrison or bust for me now.
Yeah, unless it's some trade back that's just so ridiculous that they had to do it. like somebody some owner decided they had to have Caleb Williams in the number 1 pick, and here's 3 first rounders, here's 2 second rounders, and here's Patrick Surtain. Okay, we got to talk about that now,
Right, of course.
because then you're talking about Jalen Johnson's your second best corner. And it ain't even close. I mean, Surtain's the top 3 guy in the league, in my opinion. Surtain is who Johnson thinks he is.
No, you're not. Then Johnson's gone.
Yeah, maybe you can sign and trade him, or whatever you could do. But what if you kept him?
Mm.
And then those are your 2 corners.
Is Surtain still on a rookie deal?
Don't think so.
Yeah,
he might be, but they might have signed him because he's that good. He's that good. They might have just said, "Fuck it, we don't need to wait."
Yeah, he's on Justin Fields' contract.
Okay, because he's a boss. Dude. I don't know I know you don't watch a lot of AFC football, at 3:00 on a Sunday, but he's a boss.
Yeah, that was the draft that Denver took Surtain instead of Fields. That's how we got Fields.
Okay.
Correctly.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they hadn't signed him already. I don't know that they did, but I'm just saying he's that. When you got a guy, right? So why wait? I'm just going to sign him.
Yeah,
he could be that. I don't know, because that's how good he is. I don't need another year to know how good Patrick Surtain, is.
Other than you want to continue paying as little as you can.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah. But then you always play that game of what's the average salary at that position the next year compared. It always goes up. So it's kind of a market game.
True.
But that's a guy I then go ahead and see if I can't do some type of sign-in trade or whatever with Jalen Johnson, as far as, however they work that shit out. And then I go ahead and trade for Patrick Surtain as part of that deal, and I give him the Johnson money because he's that good.
And that would be Denver at 12 if that scenario was.
Yeah, that would be Denver at 12. And that's what I'm saying. Or maybe you say, okay, you know what? I don't even want. I don't need a second or a third rounder in following years. You're going to give me Surtain and you're going to give me Jerry Jeudy. How bad does Peyton want his not Manning, but Sean Payton? How bad does he want his quarterback? How bad does Walmart want their quarterback? You know what I mean? Seriously, to put in their commercials and.
So true.
Yep.
That's so well said. How bad does Walmart want a quarterback?
Yep. So, and I'm sorry, but no one has more money. I don't think any maybe some of these crazy computer fucking guys and whatnot that own teams, but I can't imagine you need more money than Walmart to run a football team.
No.
So there's always that. I mean, remember Ditka, how bad he wanted Ricky Williams, right?
Yeah. I'll give you my entire draft to move up to 1.
And he did it. He went golfing. If the stories are correct, he drafted Ricky Williams, started up a cigar, and went golfing. It was a long time ago, but remember how bad the Vikings wanted Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
So sometimes people just want something so bad. It's rare, but what are they talking about Caleb Williams being? Rare.
Yeah.
So
people have him viewed that way.
Well, most actually.
Yeah.
And the arm is off the charts. I mean, it's up there with that's a Cutler arm. I mean, if you want to put it in Bears terms,
yeah,
that's a Cutler hose.
Yeah, that's a Cutler hose.
So, I mean, didn't do shit for us, but that's a Jeff George hose. Jeff George probably got the strongest quarterback of any quarterback the Bears have ever had.
Yeah, I forgot he was on the Bears.
Yeah, he didn't do shit, but he was here.
Yeah.
That fucking guy. Good Lord.
I know.
My Lord. It's
His
like,
arm, you could throw it
yeah,
through
what the hell was that? He was like such an asshole.
Yeah.
And he played at Illinois, so I love the fucking guy. But
Yeah.
he was such a prick.
Yeah.
People talk about, walk on this, that, the fucking Baker Mayfield. You know who was a walk on quarterback who was the first pick in the draft first? Jeff George.
Yeah.
He was a scholarship athlete at Purdue. And back in those days, if you transferred in conference, you couldn't receive a scholarship. So he transferred to Illinois and was essentially a walk on. And then he was the number one pick in the draft. But people want to tell you that it's Baker Mayfield because they don't like facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Illinois is always overlooked when it comes to shit like that too.
Yep. And I'm going to know the facts about it.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's my shitty football program, and I'm laying claim to it.
Yeah, what was Jeff George on that team with that defense? The games.
No. He was I think he was the first pick of the 90 draft, maybe 90 or 91.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're talking Hardy, Rice, Holishek, Dana Howard.
Yeah,
the best linebacking core in the history of college football.
Yeah,
that one.
Yep, that one.
Fucking A. No wonder I love the 3-4, huh? God, was those guys. It was crazy.
1990.
The best pros of those two weren't the best that were in college. The best two college linebackers of those two guys were Howard and Holishek. The best pros were Rice and Hardy.
Mm-hmm. Dana Howard was.
Oh, he's got the Dana Howard. Dana Howard was Buckus's guy.
Yeah,
he loved fucking Dana Howard. He even played on the Bears a little bit. He just wasn't big enough.
Yeah,
it was just had everything, kind of like Kyler Murray and most 6 foot fucking guys that try to play in the NFL that aren't receivers and running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and kickers and punters. They're just not big enough. Mm-hmm. Sorry. That's why, in my opinion, as far as premier running backs, inside the 5-yard line, Barry Sanders is the worst premier running back I've ever seen in my life.
That's
ever.
True. That's
ever.
True.
Yeah. There's so many guys I'd rather have.
He's my second favorite running back of all time.
Oh God, he's awesome running back, Hall of Famer, a great. But he'd give you -1, 2, -3, 1, 4, 4, -3, 76. That's what Barry Sanders did to you.
Yeah.
But Emmitt Smith was, 4, 5, 6 yards of carry every time type of a fucking guy. Neither one of them good as Walter Payton, but that's okay. That's another.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, neither is. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think you can be a more complete running back than Walter Payton. I don't think it's really possible. Just complete. Yeah, everything. Leadership.
Didn't he kick a field goal?
Yep. The only thing he didn't do is he didn't get that touchdown in the Super Bowl. It still kind of makes me a little bit sad for him.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, that's. Dude, I'm so petty. I don't even like William Perry as much as I should because he got that touchdown.
Tell me about it. I bet you William Perry doesn't like himself as much.
Yeah, he's in his wheelchair like, God damn it, I didn't deserve that touchdown. But you know what? A guy like Ditka, who in his mind has done one thing wrong in his whole life, that was the one thing. He said he's got one regret in his entire coaching career. That's the only one he has.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he didn't give Walter Payton a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and he's like, I got to live with it the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at least he was man enough, and humility enough to say it.
Right.
So fuck it. I've made a million fucking mistakes. I'd love to go back 20 years and, So who am I to judge?
You got to hand it to him for giving that up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we all feel it, and it's good to know that he feels it too. You know?
And actually, I've heard his son talk about it too, Jared. And even he needed some time to forgive Ditka over it. It's just one of those things. That's how loved Walter Payton was. It says more about how loved Walter Payton was than anything else.
Yep.
People were sad for you.
Mm-hmm.
A whole fucking football starved city that just won a championship. A little part of them was still like,
Mm-hmm.
well, he needed that one. And I was a kid and I felt that way. I can't imagine what older adults who understood life more understood how hard he worked to get to where he got and going to Jackson State and the whole 9 yards, you know.
And then in the Super Bowl, the rushing touchdown goes William Perry.
Yeah, the guy that got you there, the guy that spent a decade already in your organization from 1975 building you up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets there and a little 10 years later and you don't, come on.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's the backbone of that team.
I know.
And my guy Danny Hampton.
Oh yeah, and
God, I love that fucking guy.
Let's hope Mongo gets into the Hall of Fame this year.
He's better than guys that are already there.
Yep.
So that's for sure.
I mean, I made a case for stats are better than Howie Long's in a lot of areas.
Yep.
Played longer.
Now, of course, Howie Long didn't get to play next to Hall of Famers. He was the Hall of Famer, but yes, right. I get. But no, he's right there with guys that I think are. And watch, I'm going to sound like an idiot. He might be in the Hall of Fame, but guys like Neil Smith that are really good players, but aren't in the Hall of Fame. He reminds me of credential-wise one of those type of guys.
Zach Thomas.
He's in now, right? He has to be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he's actually up for it this year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Or
that's baby Urlacher. If Urlacher was fucking 5'11", that would have been Brian Urlacher.
Their stats are very similar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's an outstanding player.
Yeah.
And anyone who doesn't think so is an asshole.
If Urlacher's in, Zach Thomas deserves to be in. That's for sure.
You know what? Brian Urlacher might fucking tell you that.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
Yeah, that's a player right there, man. As you talk about, you can't measure, like certain things. Hines Ward wasn't fast, but it didn't matter. Certain things you just can't.
Yeah.
Can't measure the heart of certain guys, and that's a heart guy there.
Hester, how about Hester? He's on the list again. Is it too soon for him?
He should be a Hall of Famer for one. He changed the game.
Yeah.
He's no. Oh my God, you're gonna get me in trouble with some guys right now. But maybe it's okay because the other guy who I think is a better overall special teams player in the history of the game than him was actually a Bear for a while, so it might be okay. But I think if you count kick return, punt return, and then also being the flyer on coverage, I think overall Cordarrelle Patterson was a better overall special teams player than Devin Hester.
Ooh.
Ouch. I know that sounds blasphemy, doesn't it?
That's pure blasphemy.
But why don't you go ahead and look at who has the most kick returns for touchdowns? It's not Devin Hester. it's Cordarrelle Patterson.
Really?
And I bet you when you look up total yards by the time it's all said and done too, of kick punt return total yardage, it's probably going to be Cordarrelle Patterson as well. Or just kick return. No, I think Devin Hester is the best punt returner that's ever fucking taken a breath of fucking oxygen. But overall special teams player, I don't know. He definitely couldn't be a flyer on your special teams.
Cordarrelle Patterson had 9 touchdowns, kick return touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't think Hester has 9. I think he's got 8 or 7.
5.
Oh fuck! So he's almost doubled them. My argument just feels a little stronger.
Huh. Let's see.
Now, punt return, like I said, I didn't say that Hester is the best punt returner ever. That's not in question.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying overall special teams player.
Punt return.
I think Patterson's fantastic.
Yeah. Devin Hester has 14 punt returns for touchdowns.
Yeah, it's not even. What's Patterson got? 2, if any, punt returns. He's a kick return guy, I think. Just maybe you'd have to look that one up.
No, he's not on there.
Yeah, so Hester's the better punt returner. Patterson's the better kick returner, and Patterson's the better guy as a flyer, which he didn't do very often, but he did do. But Hester changed the game, though. Oh, that's tough. And Hester also returned a kickoff return for a touchdown in a Super Bowl, which is boss.
Yeah, that was boss.
Yeah, that's just whipping it out and saying mine's bigger than yours right there. That's what that is.
Let's see. I'm looking for kick and let's see. That's longest.
Yeah. Who's got the overall
kick
return, punt return? It's probably Hester. For
yards are Brian Mitchell leads kick return yards of 14,014. Cordell Patterson is 7,989. Devin Hester is 7,333. Patterson is ranked 9th. Hester is 12th.
Does it have special teams tackles on there?
No, that's just I'm in the wrong category for that.
Okay. Man, maybe he's not. I don't know. I guess maybe I might have been but they're very close. At least that's fair. Hester probably because he changed the game is probably the best returner of all time, but boy, Patterson is right up there with the best. And I'm always going to be biased because I like the bigger athlete. I love the big athlete, man. The fucking Julius Peppers,
Devin Hester has 3,000. He's ranked 3rd on punt return yards, 3,695. Brian Mitchell is 1st with 4,999.
But oh God, the rules are different on those things too. Then
big time.
Yeah, that's hard to. I mean, Mitchell is in the team picture, but he's not as good as those two guys, in my opinion.
I see your point about Patterson, though. Kick returner, yeah, I guess he's better.
He's definitely a better. Yeah, it's probably can't even really judge him. It's probably one's the kick returner, one's the punt returner.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the better way to put it.
Yeah.
Because
my point to asking you about Hester was, I mean, I think he'll make the Hall of Fame. Just I feel like they'll drag him out till like his final, attempt.
Have you heard him talk about it?
A little bit, yeah.
He half cares because he didn't make first ballot. That's kind of weird. Like he's like, there's Hall of Fame and then there's first ballot. So I get what he's saying, but
come on,
it's special teams though. It's special teams. Like, come on, I know he loves Deion and Deion's like his big brother, but Deion played defense, dude.
Yeah,
the defense. No one threw at Deion. No, you don't look at Deion's stats because no one dared fuck with him.
Right.
So it's just you can't make a tackle if no one throws the ball at you.
To make the Hall of Fame would be good enough.
Especially at a position that typically does not make the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So he should, if he wasn't being kind of a prick, and maybe as he gets older, he won't be such a prick about it.
He'll be happy he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you need to attempt. Yeah, respect it. You're with a handful of guys that do what you do that made the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he's the 32nd best quarterback that happens to be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
He's easily a top 3 returner in the history of the game. So easily, if not, never definitely the best punt returner.
He changed the game.
Yeah, and selfishly, I was never been more excited in a sporting event in my life than when he returned that kick return for a touchdown.
Never.
Dude, I had chills, man.
My soul came out of my body and was floating on the ceiling, looking down at myself, jumping up and down and crying.
And it was the only time I thought they were going to win that fucking. That's when I thought they were going to win the Super Bowl. Not even going into it, I didn't think they were. And then he returned that kick return, and then I felt so. It just felt like they were then. And then the fucking rain, and then the fucking Dominic Rhodes, and whatever.
And then they just completely stopped kicking it to him at all.
Yeah. And then they ran the ball down our fucking throat.
Yep.
And if we would have had Tommy Harris and Brown, that wouldn't have happened.
Yep.
Fuck the fuck. Oh, that was a Super Bowl team right there, man.
That was Peyton Manning. Like, he typically had played bad in all of the big games and in bad weather. So that was for our taking.
Oh, for sure.
By being down those two players really cost us. Brown and Harris.
Especially your 3 technique and a cover 2. I mean, that's just.
And the fact they took Hester out of the game. So that was technically 3 of our best players taken out of the game.
Yeah, but Hester already impacted it enough, though. If you would go on into that, you would have saw Hester's giving you one specialty touchdown, you would have signed up for it.
True. So,
but it was Dominic Rhodes and Joseph Adai. Who the fuck are these guys? Like, let Peyton Manning go, 29-32 for 333 and 3 scores, and I can live with that 20 years later.
Yeah.
But who are these 2 assholes?
Yeah.
Well, they're fucking. Never mind. I'm just gonna shut up.
I know. I've rewatched that Super Bowl so many times, and I get sick to my stomach. I mean, they changed their defense.
Well, who did Washington beat when Timmy Smith ran all over him? Was that Washington and Timmy Smith? Am I remembering that right? Way back in the day. That's how they had to feel. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Oh,
like, what the fuck?
Getting some guy that nobody knows who he is.
Yeah,
just pounding
he looked like the best running back in football right now in the Super Bowl. Like,
yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Dominic, I know he signed with the Raiders or something afterwards and failed some drug tests. That's all I know about Dominic Rhodes. Oh well. Shit. All right, guy.
Yeah, man. Well, let's wrap this up. It's a great show with you. Finally, getting to hang out with you again on the air.
I kind of forgot we were even on the air for the most part.
That's good. That's what we want. We want to.
I don't know if your Kalen Kaepernick fans are going to be too happy with me, though. I think that might be an issue.
But opinions are opinions. That was
I just, if you really grow up poor, then really grow up poor. Don't pretend to grow up poor if you didn't.
Yeah.
Because plenty of people had to grow up poor. So
it's true.
Okay.
Well, dude, you got to make sure that you get your ass back on the show with us.
Absolutely.
This was fun, dude. And,
absolutely.
For everybody hanging out in the premiere with us tonight, we'll be talking with you in chat while we're recording this on Sunday, with some coffee. So
there you go.
Premiering this in the evening at some point.
All right, I'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, you'll be watching it right now. We'll figure out what that day is, but it'll be this day.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, buddy. Well, as we always end the show on a 1, 2, 3 Bears.
All right, let's do it.
1, 2, 3 Bears. I hit the wrong button. There we go. And there we go.